Hey YouTube, coming at you with Golisopod in the Great League, and I kind of overlooked this one for both Great League and Ultra League, thinking that it may have more play in Ultra League, but it was actually very surprising in Great League. It's just the Shadow Claw, again, Shadow Claw is one of the best moves in the game, right? With the Owl less prevalent, you have less things that resist the Claw. X-scissor is kind of a whatever move, but it's the Claw and X-scissor are a very spammy combination. And Liquidation is not that much more energy than X-scissor, and it's a decent hard-hitting move. So it really surprised me how spammy it was. And your bug, right? So you resist like the fighting and stuff. So at first I ran an ABB style team with Stunfisk and Vigoroth, and then I moved to Cress. And I can talk about Cress in another video, but let's look at Golisopod in action here. So again, these Shadow Claws are doing more than enough here. They have, this is a really good answer here because they only have Ice Punch and Draw Run, both are resisted, right? So Ice Punch comes in. It is a little glassy, as you see, right? Like whether or not resisted or not, that kind of did a decent amount. Liquidation didn't do a ton. Defense fell, so I felt like I could just bait at this point. So just going for the bait. They shield. Even if they throw again, it is resisted, so I'm not super worried. Again, Jordan does hurt a bit. I then get out of there because I'm like, oh yeah, this is an ABB style team. Maybe I should. I really hate ABB style teams because when you have like a neutral matchup in the lead, and you have to bail. I hate when that happens. So it doesn't look like, oh, they do have a meta champ, right? So a little slow there, but they didn't get out either. So I'm at an earthquake, which is good. I'll get to a second one. At that point, it's like, okay, either get the last shield or take it out. And if I get the last shield, then Vigoroth should be able to like sweep up the rest of it just with like a body slam. So just going straight earthquake here. They decide to let it go. So it goes down. Sableye comes in. Get this off. And now Vigoroth. I'll use Vigoroth again on another team. I just don't want ABB style teams here. Just the counter damage, because again, I'm normal, so claws are 2 times resisted as opposed to them being only single resisting the counter. They land a return, which is fine because the claws aren't going to do anything, right? And then at this point, it's just counter and body slam spam resisted, or all the moves are resisted. They still do a lot. I can see that my screen just froze there for a sec. Hopefully it's not too much delay. I've had a little bit of problems. Encoding overload. Okay, I have not got that error before. Anyways, we'll keep this going. Hope that doesn't happen again. Again, counter resisted. So if you want to see a fighter, this is where you want to see it. The problem is, even though there is a resisted, like look at how much these power punches and counters are starting to add up here. Like they're doing a decent amount, and Scrafty is pretty tanky, so just being able to get that off is not bad. Just so that's for chip damage. I don't think it's going to take it out. And then if they land a foul play at this point, I am going to be taken out for sure. Call up a power punch again, which is nice. At this point, I expect it a farm down. And again, if it's another power punch, this won't take me out. So again, having resisted all these moves, it is pretty good. So I will grab the last shield or take this out. They let it go, so Golispod sweep in there. I'm up a shield, so I'll just come in Stunfisk because I can just go straight earthquake here, even though if they surf me a couple times, I can start shielding here. So there's one through. Lantern is still strong. So what I'm going to do is do a 1 weekend meta analysis and Pokemon that I think are like stronger now and weaker now. So Pidgeot comes in. Let's just get this Rock Slide off. I expect to shield because I expect them to lower my attack here because there's no reason for them not to lower my attack. Looks like it'll be CMP, which is fine because at this point, Vigoroth, once I get this through, even though it's two times lowered, it's fine. Once I get this through, I'll just be able to go straight counter body slam because that is still super effective and Vigoroth is so spammy. I'm able to take this out. Well, with a counter here. Golisopod against Defensive Oxus. Good lead, because obviously the claws are adding up. Their counter's resisted. I am bug, right? And this bug is super effective against Psychic. But if this has Rock Slide is super effective against me. So the question is, how much is this rock slide going to do? And I didn't want to find out because this thing is so glassy. I expected it to do a lot. In comes the Sableye. They're up a shield and they let this go. So I'm kind of in a tricky spot here to a certain extent. Because these foul plays are only going to take 2 to take me out here. Most likely. Maybe just a bit more with the claws. And I don't know if I'll be able to do much here. I can grab one shield. I can't get to the, or I know I can't get to the earthquake before they take me out. So I'm just going to chip here. The only problem is they could now farm up a bit more, and they will. Not too much more. That's okay. Foul play will take me out here. So do I come, where do I go here? Do I come and claw? Or do I come in vigoroth and counter here? The problem is I'm going to have to shield either way, I think. Because both are pretty glassy. And a foul play would do a lot of damage here. So I have to shield, get the farm down. It will depend what is in the back. And it is a walrein. And this is unfortunate here because you're kind of just like throwing x-scissors. And again, x-scissors is not a terrible move, but it's not a good move. It's not a good move by any means. So I will get a body slam off here. I expect a shield because I expect this to like throw at least one move here. Psycho boost, most likely. Or a rock slide and then counter me. Yeah, psycho boost. Just to take me down as much as I can, knowing that I still need to throw, and then the walrein will be able to take me out with an icicle spear. And then they'll... I mean, Golispod resists everything, right? But I still think I'm low enough that resisting or not, and I can only throw the x-scissors, which isn't going to take it out from here. It does, like you saw, like 25%, if that. Icicle spear does not quite take me out. I get to one more. Again, this won't take it out though, so I still think I need to get another move off, and they power stone me down, right? So those are resisted moves, quite easily taking you out, right? So that's the Golisopod. Golisopod just got taken out with resisted counters, resisted powder snows, and resisted icicle spears is what happened there. And that's the main weakness of this Pokemon. It is very, very glassy. Sandslash comes in. I'm baiting here, which I don't know if it's a good bait. Because if I let this go, it does work. They are a shadow. I'm staying in and forcing them to throw. What am I doing here? Am I going to shield and then throw liquidation? And then get out? This is where Cress is in. I'll talk about Cress on a top team video. Because I think Cress has a lot of play in this meta now. Obviously, there's a couple things that still hurt it, and Steel is the main one, right? So Registeel, Sandslash now everywhere, but overall, there's Metachams everywhere. Trevenant is a lot less. Dugong is out there. So I think Cress is a really, really strong answer in this meta. And I got on one of my top teams. I'll talk about it in the sort of on the top team, and I'll talk about it in the updated meta team there, or updated meta video I'm going to do. So go for the rock side, can't quite take it out. Out comes a Frostlass, still able to get to a move, which is huge because now I need to go into Cress and get a Grass Knot off. And Cress is just so tanky that Shadow Ball or not, I am going to live this with ease. Just outpace to the Grass Knot and take this out for the win. And then Psycho cut down Swampert. Ninetales, Fairthorn, yeah, you can see my brain going wild here, being like, what do I do here? What do I do here? I think I was trying to chip and then, yeah, I was trying to chip and then go Stunfisk, probably. Or Cress. I go Cress to catch the move. And why I did that was, I know they have a Ninetales in the front. So Cress is absolutely useless against a Ninetales. So I'm basically just using this as a sacrifice here. So I throw the Moonblast. I think Grass Knot, well, Grass Knot would have been what, double resisted? So this is single, I think. And they shield, which is fine. I think I let this go because now I can come maybe just like Stunfisk and Mudshot Or Golisopod and yeah, Claw, that makes sense too. I'm probably going to shield because of Power Whip, I am half water, so would hurt a lot. So I'm going to shield that, and we'll see what is in the back. And it is a Bomb Snow in the back. So this is okay, because this will do super effective. Wow, that does a lot of damage. So this is quite, I'm worried, my computer kind of froze on me, so I'm worried about opening up a tab here. But I really want to check out the stats on this Pokemon here for the Great League. Okay, so the stats in themselves are nothing spectacular. I'm just like comparing against like the owl and stuff like that. So, okay, so it's not surprising. Its attack is like 125, which is sort of mid. Like it kind of reminds me of Ninetales. Yeah, this is except for the lower stamina, which makes sense. Okay, so this actually Ninetales has slightly less. What has like a 125 attack? So slightly more than Ninetales. The problem with this Pokemon, and you can see, which I joked about, like it just got taken out by resisted moves in the other battle there. Its stamina is very, very low. So attack is 125, defense is 133, and stamina is 107 for total overall of 1789. And I mentioned in that one video that I did, like 2000 is your sort of sweet spot for Pokemon in this meta. So 1789 is quite low. The 107 stamina is quite low. Where this Pokemon now may become a little meta is because Shadow Claw is still a good move. It's always had it, but now it has this Liquidation. So the outside of the X-scissor, it only had Aerial Ace and Aqua Jet, which are just terrible moves. But now it has Liquidation, which seems to be a pretty good move. Like not like overpowering or like amazing in any sort of the sense, but it's very adequate in my opinion. Is this a must build for Great League? I don't think so. It may be better in limited metas because that duotyping the duotyping is really unique. Bug water, right? So it's like why you wouldn't have seen this before again was because the owls everywhere, right? Because it's got the same typing as your Araquanid, the spider bug there, or spider water spider. So that kind of went away because of the owl was everywhere. But if the owl's not everywhere anymore, you could break this out a little more. It is ranked 191 in the Great League, so it's still not a great rank. 17 and 26 record, right? So lose to normals, lose to flyers, lose to lantern because it's electric. A lot of flyers there. Bastiodon, the steals are going to cause you problems like Registeel. The darks just like outpace you, like Scrafty with counter and foul play beat you. Sableye just is going to outpace you too with the foul plays. So I think it's just like the stamina is a little glassy. It doesn't hit hard enough right now to justify that stamina. Yeah, Stunfisk, Ninetales, you lose to like everything meta champ. You lose to everything that's meta. You lose to all the main meta. Where's your main meta wins? Swampert is the main one because Hydro Cannon and Earthquake are resisted. Walrein is supposed to be a win because Icicle Spear and Earthquake are resisted, but not in an uneven matchup there. You do beat Cress, which makes sense because you are doing super effective with the Shadow Claw and X-scissor. So that is a decent win there. But then you're getting your main wins are against like very, very niche Pokemon. Talonflame, Marowak, Toxicroak, and Frostlass. So not super, super relevant. It would have to be used in like, I think, Great League and a limited cup would be my guess of where it is probably best suited. So definitely not one you need to prioritize building, but it was fun to use, like super spammy, really interesting to use. Glad I muted the battles because I could see the battles going wild, so I forgot to mute the audio on the first on the first wave there. I tried to farm down the owl with, and I cannot do it. Oh, I do it, but I'm pretty low, so we'll see what else they have. Oh yeah, the superior, right. I'm loaded, so I'm probably going to shield. Get a couple rock slides off here. And then we'll see what is in the back. Stunfisk I still think has great play. I think Crest you're going to see a lot more of now because of this reason. Lantern, Metacham, Dugong, less Trevenant, right? It just, everything is kind of in its favor right now. So I expect to see more Crest. Stunfisk, I still expect to see a heavy dose of Stunfisk. I actually think it takes a little bit of a hit because those, you're still doing decent against Dugong and A-Slash because you can hit for super effective on both. But now they can hit for, those draw runs pretty quick and can hit super effective on you. So those make it a little trickier. I expect to see an uptick in Swampert because there's less Swampert because there's less all Mud Boys. Swampert, Whiscash, Quagsire because there's less Trevenant. So the Mud Boys are going to take you out pretty easy. Metachamps are still everywhere. Lantern's always a tricky matchup too if you don't land the Earthquake. So Stunfisk I think is probably going to go down a little bit, but we will see. Anyways, that is it. I appreciate watching. I hope there were some glitches on my end. I hope that didn't affect the video too much. But that is it. So a bunch of stuff coming. I have a all semi-buff team. So I have like Nidoqueen, Stunfisk, the other Stunfisk with Mud Bomb. I forget who the third on that team was. And then I have a Sandslash coming. I've got a tryhard team coming. So lots of stuff coming. You're gonna probably get multiple videos. I already did two yesterday on the Monday. I'm gonna have 2 today, most likely 2 tomorrow. So be sure to check those out. Appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.